In a spate of recent and rising attacks against members of the defense personnel, be it serving or retired, such attacks have become common in Delhi, NCR and Gurgaon. One such incident where a serving brigadier in the Indian Army along with his son were assaulted only because they refused to allow a group of men to drink inside their society. Let us try and speak to the family, the brigadier's son Tejas and his mother Nitasha, who were present at that point in time, to understand why the police action took time. Tejas, firstly, thanks for speaking to us. We want to briefly try and understand from you what was the incident that took place that night when your father and you objected to those men drinking.
So it was Saturday night about 10 p.m. While post dinner we had just gone out for a small walk and we observed two men sitting in a Mercedes car and they were drinking in openly, and I mean the windows were down, the lights were on, so they were drinking openly, sort of a karo bar thing. So my father, he questioned them that since it's a society where families are staying, there are so please kindly abide by the laws and do not drink here, and you should go away from here or maybe some other place to drink. So that was the initial conversation. Post that, the guy who was drinking, he arrogantly said that I am a local from here and I would be drinking here, so you kindly mind your own business. So our first response was that not to get into any heated argument and immediately call the PCR van for a legal angle to the case and not to get any not to involve in any sort of mishappening. So I immediately ran back to my home, I grabbed my phone and I initiated a call to the PCR van.
So how, after you called up the PCR, asking them to arrive at the spot, how quickly did they come?
So PCR was quick enough. I mean, it might be there in somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes. But once the PCR arrived, it was of no help to us actually, because the PCR, the constable who came out of the car, initially while he was writing our plea, writing our report, the offender, the person who was drinking, he handed him over his phone to the constable to speak to some Captain Sumit, was the name being flashed, and the constable spoke to the person on the phone for about a minute and a half, and post that he refused to write any complaint for which we had actually called them. So that was the whole scenario. And
what I want to understand is that while there was a constable who had arrived at the spot, had he intervened just at the right time, could this entire incident of assault have been avoided at any cost?
Yes, naturally. So once the constable arrived, the goons who had assaulted me, they arrived about 5 minutes post the constable's arrival. So if the constable would have intervened at that correct moment, in the heat of the moment, the fight won't have been engulfed, or I won't be landed in this situation, and the things could have been avoided and handled in a better way.
Miss Nitasha, what I want to try and understand from you is that while all of this was happening and your son and husband were being assaulted in front of you, what was the attitude of the policeman at the spot? You then walked up to him asking him to step in and so that it could not spiral further.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the moment we didn't even realize, in fraction of seconds, there two vehicles, they arrived, and there were around like 7 to 8 goons who came out of the car, and a group of like 6-7 of them, they engulfed around Tejas, and they started thrashing him. And there were, I think, 2 or 3 who did not allow my husband, because he wanted to come and protect Tejas, but they did not. They pushed him back and they thrashed him also. And I ran back to the cop who was sitting in the PCR van seeking help, and then he told me that he cannot do anything and he's just waiting for some team to arrive to help us out. And then it continued for around 15-20 minutes, and he quietly was conveniently sitting in his car and watching the entire scene, what was happening.
Tejas, very quickly want to understand what sort of weapons were used, or they just used punches and kicks to assault you?
So there were no weapons involved, they just used the punches and kicks, but I was sort of put on the ground and then dragged along the ground. So the road was broken there, so that's why I got myself injured on my legs and on my knees and my elbows.
We can also see some very visible pertinent marks on your face, on your forehead, correct, under the eye, on the nose, etc. How serious are these?
So they are not much. I mean, there is no internal deep injury, is what the medical report said. But these are bruises on my face, which would take time to recover. And I mean, post that there have been lot of muscle injuries which I faced in my neck and in my ribs. So that is of a bit pain right now. But I'm sure in due course of time it would be improved to better.
As an army man's wife and family, how tardy and lackadaisical is the attitude of Delhi police out here in promptly acting or even later registering a complaint? Because what we believe is that you approached the cops after this incident as well, going up to the police station. What was their attitude at that point in time?
Yeah, so attitude was horrible. And before I go back to the attitude, I really want to thank the media and of course the Indian Army for the overwhelming support which we have got. And in this, I mean, situation what we were facing, like we waited almost for around 30 hours and there was no action taken. So even the day of the incident, I mean, while the PCR cop was present, after going to the police station, filing the the moment we went to the police station, we were denied of filing the complaint. After a lot of insistence, we were also denied the medical assistance. Everything we did on our own. We came back around 3 o'clock in the morning on 12th of April after giving our complaint, and whoever was in charge, I mean the cop in charge, he even took the videos and the photographs of the car what we had in our phone. But we waited for almost 30 hours and there was no action taken. It is only when it started coming in the media, and of course the Indian Army also intervened into the entire matter, and it is with their support, today we are here speaking or whatever we are speaking. Otherwise, there was nothing what these cops had been doing. And the police station, we were actually harassed in the police station for almost like 30 to 35 minutes. Yeah.
We believe that today also you went and met the DCP and additional commissioner. So what kind of talks or conversations did you have with them?
So, they were like very polite, very nice. They accepted like whatever mistake has happened at their end. So let's see. We don't know. What about the FIR and how things will go further. But the interaction definitely with the DCP was very, very fruitful, I would say. Yeah, he was quite kind enough.
Firstly, thank you to both of you all for speaking to us. So this is the plight. If an serving army man's family has to go through this, one can only imagine what the common man is forced to face. This inaction by Delhi police has resulted in injuries to a young boy, an army man's son. All of this could have been avoided had Delhi police decided to do its duty right on time, and later post the incident also a delay. Not just by a few minutes, 1.5 days. 36 hours later, the complaint was filed. While the accused are still at large, one can only hope they will be arrested soon, as such incidents can be prevented in the near future. With cameraman Pradeep, Dev Kotak, Times Now, New Delhi.